Hello, my name is Travis LaPrairie, in case you missed it in the title, and you are watching Protons. I appreciate you for clicking on the video. If you guys like the video, dislike it, have anything for me, drop it in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, or you can DM me, my Instagram is right here. But with that out of the way, enjoy the special Protons. Now, let me bring a fact to your attention. I don't know if you knew this fact. Mental fortitude is at an all-time low in our country. Did you know that? Now, I didn't do a census. I didn't do a study. If you're like, where's your source? You can do it. You can do it. Do this experiment at home. Go on social media, your favorite social media. Mine is Instagram, for example. And use your favorite scrolling finger and just look. Take a nice long look at all of the bitching and complaining going on. Oh my word, there's so much of it. I don't want to be scrolling through my morning and see, my bed was 67.3 degrees this morning. So I'm going to write a long enough post about it that can be adapted into a 2-part TV miniseries starring Scarlett Johansson. Like, I don't want to see that. The best part is, nobody reads them. They see the gray read more text at the bottom and immediately bail. Like, not today, Satan. You are not going to waste my time with reading about how a poor person's shit wouldn't come out this morning and now they're late for work. No, sir. Not going to do it. Now, have I ever done this? Have I ever posted this long post about my feelings? Of course I have. Not because I handle my problems like a grown adult. I put on my big people pants. Now, I get it. Big people pants, they clash with the bitch color scheme. I got it. You got to stay stylish, you know. But I hear you saying, just ignore it. Just ignore it. If there was a fat-ass orangutan just banging on your window, you wouldn't ignore that. I'm just saying, you would not. You would not. You would go over and see what the hell is going on with this big-ass monkey. See some read more text at the bottom, and you click it, and boom, you see his dick. Like, you're already there. You already have opened the can of worms. Let's get out of the social media jungle, even. Let's expand our horizons together, shall we? You ever been in a conversation, and they always bring it back to something about them that's terrible? Like, I'm pretty sure they have a goal before the conversation even starts. Like, let's say you and me are talking. So yeah, I've played football for 8 years. I was a slot receiver. Tried some quarterback. Wasn't the best at it. But how about you? You like sports? And what are you into? I want to get to know you. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you throw a football. So it kind of applies. My mom threw away all my stuff when I was 9. Was it because you were a selfish, derailing conversationalist? Because then I fully support it. I fully support it. Go ahead. Humans are interesting creatures, they are. Humans are really interesting creatures. Here's another interesting creature for you. This creature has been baffling scientists for years. For years. It's extremely territorial. It's aggressive mater. It can change its appearance and its texture at will. I feel like I'm on Nick, like Go Diego Go just jumps out like, all right, we're going to guess that animal. You're going to say it with me so it jumps out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Teenager! Damn it didn't come out. They are stubborn. I'm pretty sure I heard the AirPod volume go up. But if you said cuttlefish, you are also correct. Cuttlefish can also change their appearance and texture at will to suit their environment and avoid predators. Teenagers do this too. Take the first day of school. Everybody's got their fits that they planned. I'm looking good. They get to school and realize that shit is weak. And they're like, ooh. And by the second semester, unrecognizable. They're unrecognizable. Predators pass right by them. You're like, Travis, wow. With your keen observational skills, you must be one of those predators. You must be dominating your space. Yeah, it's a negative. I'm actually the piece of coral over there that hasn't changed in its appearance for the past, 16 years. And he's just kind of gotten bigger. Like, I got a branch. It's like, ooh, that's tough. Yeah, right? Yeah. Got some style to me. Speaking of toughness, there's another thing that people like to mimic. Now, I'm not saying that everybody mimics it. I know some hard-ass people. But the problem is, when a cuttlefish mimics something, it's still a cuttlefish. It's not a shark. So when a tough dude tries to mimic another tough dude, and he's actually not, the next thing he's trying to do is maintain a pulse. Like, dude, if you're not tough, just own up to it. You're not tough. Otherwise, you're going to be in the hospital room with Go Diego Go. All right, kids, back at home, do it with me. We're going to guess what this animal is. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Lump of hamburger meat that used to be a guy. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Another thing about cuttlefish, their reproductive system. You know cuttlefish give head? Like, how? I didn't notice it until I was reading about them for, like, 9th grade biology or something like that. They give head, but it's also how they fertilize. Can you imagine if humans operate the same way? It operates normally, and then just boom, it switches over. All the freaky girls would be screwed. They would be screwed. Is it because it went in my stomach? Is it because it went in my stomach? No, I'm not just dogging girls. Guys would be dumb as hell, too. Really? Really? Did you go chipmunk on me? Did you say some in your mouth and stick it up there? Thought we said no kids. Thought we said no kids. If you think we're overpopulated now, we could not handle that. We could not handle that evolutionary switch. Now, let's talk about family for a second. Every comedian has a family joke. They're a dime a dozen. But the funny thing is, every single joke is different. It's a bunch of people under the same roof pissing each other off in new and unique and exciting ways. It's the best to hear. Now, I think that I have a pretty normal family. I live with both of my parents, and I have one sibling. Now, granted, I used to have 5 pets. I used to have 3 dogs, a snake, and a rabbit. My mom kind of rented out a part of the New York Zoo in our house, and it got hectic at sometimes with that many beating hearts in the house. And I feel like, Travis, that is nothing. I have 13 pets, and one of them is a monitor lizard. Sorry, I was falling asleep, Steve Irwin. I'm sorry that Reptar the monitor lizard is cooler than my rabbit. Like, I got it. I mean, but whatever. Helps your family dynamic, you know? Speaking of family dynamic, if you have, it doesn't even have to be a parent. If you have that, like, just guardian figure that is strict on you and makes sure you know, you're not a, I don't know, shitbag, then if you don't have one of those, I immediately don't like you. Interaction barrier is up for you. But if you do, 1, up top, welcome to the club. And second of all, you know what when they snap, shit is serious. It's serious. Now, when my dad snaps on my younger brother, whoo, that is some funny shit. I was coming down the stairs, and I stop. And I see my father tearing apart the kitchen and just picking up things and looking under them. Dad, that's a blender. You put stuff in it, not under it. Dad, that's a knife. You cut things with it, you don't put stuff under it. Dad, and Brad luckily beat me to the question, because I don't know what would happen if I had asked the question myself. He goes, Dad, what are you doing? And he had apparently been waiting for this question because he put down the cutting board that he was examining, and he goes, trying to figure out who the fuck you're talking to, because it ain't me like that. And I had to leave the room. It wasn't what he said. It was the fact that a grown-ass man was tearing apart his kitchen to prove a point to a 10-year-old. It had me weak. Now, I don't have as many stories like that about my mom. She's a little bit more docile. I do have a funny story. We were coming back from Pennsylvania. We were visiting our grandparents. And something that my grandmother said, my mom disapproved of. But the next thing that she said I disapproved of very much. We're sitting in the car and we're driving, and I'm in the passenger seat. She's in the driver's seat. And she said, isn't just what she said some bukkake? Come again? It shut down my entire brain. I was like, Mom, I don't think you know what that means. And in good conscience, I cannot, as your son, tell you what that means. So go ahead and go look it up on yourself. Go look it up by yourself and come back. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Don't come back to me. I don't want to talk about bukkake with my mother. And if you don't know what bukkake means, if you want to look it up, go ahead. I'm warning you now. Just saying. I'm warning you now. Family relationships are funny, though. Family relationships are also tough. Just like all relationships. All relationships are tough. But they're not as tough as people make them out to be. I'm going to focus on romantic relationships for a second. Now, I'm 17. I don't have the experience of a 60-year-old married couple. I don't. I'm not going to pretend that I do. They have the contents of the book. I have, like, the foreword. Okay, but don't skip my foreword. The foreword has good information, okay? Don't skip it. Now, the first thing that I've noticed about relationships is, especially with girls, they'll give you the answer to a situation before the situation even presents itself. What I mean by that, for example, let's say your girl drops everything that she's doing and comes up to you and starts talking to you and expects you to do the same, bro. If she does that, don't be like, you're mad, so I'll leave you alone. Wrong answer, wrong decision. That's like flying a helicopter. Noticing everything is okay. And going and jumping the fuck out. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Another thing that I've noticed. Crazy jealousy. Crazy jealousy. Girls, it applies to a little bit more. Only by like a fraction of a percent, though. Guys are almost just as bad about it. If you're crazy jealous of, about somebody, just relax a little bit. I'm not saying jealousy is all bad. I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, you don't gotta be like, hey babe, how was your day? That was pretty good. Office was boring. So I saw you take 372 breaths with a 3% margin of error. Of course, I did the calculations today. Around your little friend at Panera. What's up with that? Seems a little steep. Like, that's what lungs are for. They breathe. Or like, you don't go in and be like, hey babe, how was your day? Oh, it was pretty good. Office was kind of boring. Realize that you looked within about 2 meters left, right, forward, and back of this one person and just in their general direction. It's a pretty tight window. What's going on? That's what eyes do. They look at things. Like, you don't gotta be like that, Another thing that I've noticed, appreciate the little things. Money doesn't matter. Effort matters. Effort matters. If your partner doesn't have the money to live this lavish life, I'm not saying that they have to be broke, but they can't give you something every time. Appreciate when they do. Hey babe. Baby, I know we've met I know we've met 6 months ago and we've had pasta like 5 of those months. But I got us pasta again. I know. But I got us Classico Alfredo sauce. Bitch, you better appreciate that Alfredo sauce, because that's $1.67 more. $1.31 with MVP card. Don't ask me how I know that. But you better appreciate it. You better appreciate it. Now, last thing about relationships. You know that you can predict your relationship with about like 67% accuracy by one event, and it happens early for most people in their relationship. The first time that you cuddle. The first time that you cuddle is very important. I'll tell you why. Because, one, were you guys casual or was it like intimate? That'll come up later. Did you guys kiss? Romance might already be dead. Was somebody answering their phone the entire time? And if it was social media, they leaving your ass. Did it last at least 30 minutes? It's about how long your relationship is going to last. Hey, if you don't want to hear it, I'm spitting the truth here. I'm spitting the truth. Now, I said I was 17, which means I'm in high school. And high school is, how do I say it? A dumpster fire. Yeah, we'll call it that. It puts up the false image of structure. There's no structure. There's absolutely none. It's just a bunch of human beings under one roof agreeing not to murder each other. Nobody wants to be there. Nobody. Ask the teachers. They should be the ones that want to be there. Negative. Workload this. Paycheck that. Nobody wants to be there. And the kid that's always studious, doing their work, seems happy to be there. They're not. They're happy that they're doing work to get into a good college. They don't want to be there. They're not doing it for the enjoyment of high school. There's another topic. College. Take your favorite activity. Let's say a cruise. Say a cruise. Costs a decent amount of money. For Royal Caribbean, for a cruise for 2 people, for 3 nights, is about $450. It's a lot of money, right? It's a lot of Alfredo. It's a lot of Alfredo. Now take that cruise money. You never get to go on the cruise. You pay it every month for 7.5 years. That's about what college is. Oh, you want to eat? Eat that little piece of paper up on the wall. It has your name and it has the college's name. That's what matters. A little stamp on there. It's framed. Eat that. You forget about that little guy? I got framed in school once. I did. I woke up. It was the start of any normal day. I woke up and I slid my light-up Skechers on. Not to flex, but slid my light-up Skechers on, and I come down and I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch while watching Wild Kratts. And I get on the bus and I talk about Bakugan. And I get in to my first grade class. Now, in my first grade class, there was a kid named Evan. And Evan was one of the most unstable people that I've ever met in my entire life. Evan, I'm pretty sure that Evan's head was filled with TV static, and every once in a while there was just a glitch in the matrix. I'm pretty sure that that's what was operating there. And one class, I'm doing my work, and I just see Evan stand up. And he looks directly at me, and he picks up his open orange juice, and proceeds to 1985 Chicago Football Bears end zone celebration, spike it into the ground. And then proceeds to blame it on me. Yes, my nerd ass is gonna do that. I was upset that I didn't have enough erasers in my pencil pouch. Okay? That may be the reason why he bullied me. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. He then proceeds to blame it on me. And this was going to ruin my entire school career. So I thought, I was like, he has to be terminated. He's got to be eliminated. That is the next logical step. He has to just disappear. So I get into the lunchroom and I get my lunch tray. My weapon is loaded with a piece of slice and a dollop of mac and cheese. And I tap him on the shoulder. And he turns around just as the "finish him" screen from Mortal Kombat goes above his head. And my first grade arms just swing the tray as fast as I could. And I just domed him right in front of the cafeteria. And I'm just standing over him like, "This is Agent Travis. The assassination is complete. I'm heading back to base now," as he's just lying on the ground. And then it hit me. I just gave myself detention. I wouldn't have even gotten detention if I hadn't done that. The framing wouldn't have even gotten me there. It was my own self-doing. Now, I've talked about middle school. Wow. I've talked about high school, elementary school, and college. I'm talking about middle school now. I've saved middle school because that is one of the most lawless places I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, as a scrawny white kid back in 6th grade, I was like prime rib. I was the main delicacy. It's like when lions see a baby wildebeest, like a baby wildebeest that's got 3 legs and he's trying to eat a rock instead of the grass. That was about me. But I was a smart baby wildebeest because I didn't get in the lion's way. So, days going by, I'm 100-meter dashing to my class, and then I see one of my fellow brothers getting jumped out of the corner of my eye. And I stop, and the thought of helping him passes through my mind very briefly. And then I tactically, selfishly, retreat to a safe position to watch. And I still feel bad about this to this day. I was not the bravest, But then I realized there were 5 of them, and they could crunch my body like a bag of Pop Rocks. So I tried not to get in their way. And they were laughing, they were punching him, they were pulling his hair, and they were laughing at him, and I was like, I swear, I've seen this before. Where? Then the Wild Kratts episode about hyenas came into my mind, and I was like, that's right. The National Geographic, every episode about the hyenas, I was like, that's right. And then I realized the kill is coming soon, because they laugh before they kill them. And then they picked him up off the ground, and they cut the bottom of his book bag, and all of the contents spilled onto the ground, and they left him just a heap in the middle of the hallway. And now, since I watch National Geographic, vultures come in when there's a dead carcass, which means that was my cue. So I ran over, I was like, oh my god! What happened? I didn't see it. But is your book bag cut? Oh my word, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, it wasn't one of my shining moments. But like I said, Larkspur which is the middle school that I went to. Larkspur was a lawless place. I was walking one time in the hallway. I'm walking, and I see this 8th grader, beautiful girl. I'm just kind of staring at her, as one does. And I was staring at her, and I was like, face, nice. Ass, nice. Boobs, nice. Stomach. And her proportions just were off. I was like, what is wrong with her stomach? And I'm looking, I'm like, the proportion. She's pregnant. Okay, we're gonna stop staring. Okay, it's time to stop. Yep, she's pregnant. I stared a lot. I did. It was my default mechanism. you ever stare at a teacher when you know full well that you haven't done your homework? You're just staring at the pages, and you're just like, I swear, it was here. Like, you're in math, and you're like, you're not even in the right section. Like, you're in the English section. You're just flipping through, and you're like, it's right here, I promise. It was right here. Like, 30 seconds. It must, you know what? Oh, silly me. You start to spit mad bullshit. Silly me. I just came from chemistry, and I think that I spilled some chemicals on the paper, and it must have reacted with the molecules in there, and I think it got intelligent, and it ripped, and it broke the impression of the binder, and I think it escaped. You know what, Miss T? We should actually be happy for it. And she's just staring at you like this. Her brain cells just dying with each dumbass word that just falls out of your mouth. She's just standing there, and she's like, okay, all right. And I mentioned my brother earlier in the special. If you haven't met or heard of Brad LaPrairie, let me give you a little explanation so you can get a mind's eye of him. Now, Brad LaPrairie, let's say you take a Wolverine and you power it with an atomic fireball, you know those like really hot candies, and you strap like a mechanical like Winter Soldier arm with a flamethrower on him. That's about him. He's a unique specimen for sure. But the interactions that we have, I think, stretch to all siblings. If you have a sibling, then you will relate to what I'm about to say. First of all, first thing, you ever had your sibling own something that you had no interest in before and you didn't even know existed, but now that they have it, you need it? Yo, it's good. Is that a chicken with 3 heads and 1 leg? Yeah, I got it today at Target. That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But give me that shit. Like, you still want it. You're never going to touch it. But it's you have it, not them. Second thing about siblings. You ever see your siblings start to get good at something better than you? And you have to immediately get better than them? Every couple of days, just challenge them for the alpha title of like water bottle flipping or like pencil spinning or some dumb shit like that. Third thing. Resources. Money, food, drinks, anything. It has to be split evenly, or shit goes sideways. Siblings will bring a fucking toolkit to dissect a pizza. Yo, is that a pizza? Yeah, I just got it from Food Lion. Don't touch it. Don't you fucking dare. Dog, is that a ruler? It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. No, it really doesn't. You pulled out a compass? What are you doing? Mapping the stars? It has to be perfect, bro. It has to be perfect. Okay, you pulled out a level. I'm done. You could build a fucking house with all the stuff that you're putting out there. And then they intentionally mess it up. They're like, oh, guess I fucked it up, but I get the bigger piece, so sorry, you can have your little crumb there. Last thing about siblings is fights. If you don't fight with your sibling, you're not related. Simple. You're not related. Even if you're step-siblings, adopted, you're going to fight. Okay? If you don't fight, you're robots. You should be decommissioned. Now, siblings will fight over the dumbest shit. One of you just has a bad day, anything will get you just tilted as hell. Yo, you really picking up my fucking sweatshirt? It was on the ground. I was trying to help you. I was just trying. You don't think I can pick up my own shit? You don't think? All right, square up. Nope, you get in the smoke. You get in the smoke. Bro, I'm just trying to. Ow! What? Get your spider monkey ass off. Ow! Like, it just happens like that. It just happens like that. But you know what? I can do that. He can do that. But if another person displaces a hair on that boy's head, or if you have a sister, it's the new Terminator movie. You hurt my boy, I hurt you. Starring you. Critics say it's a hit. I can't wait to see it. Like, don't even think about it. And I bet you noticed the sweatshirt that I'm wearing. Yes. So, this is a little place called Eastside Muay Thai. I've been with them for about 6 years. They are stationed, it's like the military base. They're located in Virginia Beach. They're off of General Booth and Dam Neck. So if you're in Virginia Beach, please come drop by. It doesn't matter if you're a fighter, you've never done it, you're kind of in the middle. It doesn't matter. We cater to all levels. If you got kids, bring them in there. I'm actually one of the coaches there. So bring you, your family in there, get quality, Muay Thai training. We've got over 50 now, over 50 championships to the gym's name. So the crew there, which is the head instructor, I've been with him for 6 years, and he has completely turned my Muay Thai life around. He's one of the best people that I know. So with that shameless plug out of the way, Eastside Muay Thai. Okay, give us a drop by. Now, like I said, I've been doing Muay Thai there for 6 years, but I've actually been doing it for 12. And it is one of the... I've also played baseball. Nothing like it. It is one of the best sports, in my opinion, that exists. The community, the mindset that it gives you, the physical ability that it gives you, it's something else. It really is. But if you are a fighter, then there is a little bit of extra spice that goes into it. Now, if you box, wrestle, anything like that, you're gonna kind of relate, to what I'm saying. Or if you're a Muay Thai fighter or an MMA fighter, anything like that. Now, I like 98% of fighting. 2% I don't like. 1% goes to one thing, and 1% goes to another. And I will break it down for you. First percent is cutting weight. I know that you've probably heard of cutting weight. It's done with diet, water, exercise, a lot of sweating. Now, cutting weight, you want to do it to get to a division safely. Keyword there. You have to get to a division where you'll be big. You don't want to be, 135 pounds and you're like, I'm going to fight in the 135 pound division. Because you got people sucking down from 145, 150, and they get in there and they're like Hulk, and you're like, oh shit. So you cut weight, but the problem is you're trying to get down. You're trying to suck weight off of your body. So you get there, and your body's like, really, another step, bro? Really? You're like, dude, we got to get to the hotel. No. Okay, how about this? Oh, yeah, some nice air. That's fuel. No, I'm not a fucking plant. Like, give me some food. But everybody makes it. The rest of the day goes by as a blur, really. Even the night, waiting for the fight. Now, then that train comes to a screeching halt when you get your hands wrapped. Now, hand wrap just protects your fists. But when you get your hands wrapped, you know you're about 45 minutes or 15 if your coach is insane out. Now this time you feel so many human emotions. It's actually, I'm pretty sure that your brain just went on Google and has just typed in emotion and just clicked on every single one of them and is just feeding them to you. Like you're in the back and you're like, man, I'm nervous. My bones are shaking. Are they supposed to do that? Are they supposed to do that? And you're just standing there on your knees, like you're trying to hide it. So you're like tensed up really bad, but your knees won't stop moving. You're like, God, it's cold in here. God, it's cold. I'm freezing. You turn the heat on. Okay, but you know what? I'm going to go in there. I'm going to beat his ass. I'm going to get good battle going. Good battle. God, but I'm hungry, though. Fuck. My middle toe hurts. Is that going to stop me? God, it's fucking hot in here. God, turn the AC on. Holy shit. Whew. Okay. Is he looking at me? Do I look like... I look tough, right? I look tough, yeah. I look tough. Whew. But then you get out there, you see the lights, you see the crowd, you see the ring, all of it goes away. You step through the ropes, you see your crew, your coach, tells you these last little bit of things. Don't embarrass me. Don't fuck up. Do what we taught for the last 3 months. Don't embarrass me. But you get in there, and he slips your mouth guard in. Now, little observation that I've seen throughout all of the 45 fights that I've done is you can see the amount of experience that a coach has with fighting just by how they put their fighter's mouth guard in. If they're like, and they finally get it in, they're either nervous or they're new, which probably means that those things go hand in hand. But if the coach just slip and slides, just whoop, right in their fighter's mouth, they've been doing it a long time. But that concludes the special. Thank you guys so much for watching and clicking on the video. If you guys like it, please let me know down in the comments or at my IG. If you dislike it, let me know too. But like I said, I'm trying to do more of these if this gets good traction. But thanks again for watching. I'm Travis LaPrairie. You've been watching Protons.